Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Noita. We are not quite in the actual run yet here, but the Fungal Caverns is where we go to discover new physical properties of the world, apparently. And it has happened again. So you can see here, I'm behind this. This is a concentrated mana potion. I'm using a wand that has Bouncing Bolt in it, the Bouncing Burst, whatever, the little green ball one. And I was fighting a thing in this little hallway, and I pierced the side of this mana potion. And look at this. It ate all the steel away. Now, I already tested this. It's not like some kind of weird concentrated mana that is poisonous or anything. So let's just test this real quick. I have another concentrated mana potion from earlier. Does mana eat metal? Yes. Yes, it absolutely does. I mean, that's gotta be useful information, right? There are some portions of this world where everything is metal, right? Like, the Hisi base is all just metal and steel. I don't know exactly how we're going to make use of this, but it's definitely interesting, and we're definitely going to carry concentrated mana every time we see it from now on. Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome back to Noita, where we are here, about to descend into the fourth biome. It's Hisi base time, I think. You can see, Tinker with Wands Everywhere, plus No More Shuffle is not really like a set of combat perks, but boy, I'm glad I have these. These really open things up a bunch. And then we have explosion immunity, and, you know, obviously that's great. And a really fun set of wands here. So I haven't actually gotten to use this top one because I just bought the pieces for it. But a spark bolt with 2 triggers with Death Cross makes a projectile do this thing. You shoot it, and then wherever it lands, it does 2 death crosses that, you know, it takes a second for them to go off, but they explode for a combined 600 damage. And then also there's a glowing lance on there because I had the room to put up double spell. It always crits against bloody enemies, and, you know, some of the enemies in this area bleed. This might matter. I don't really have... I don't expect this to be awesome, but I didn't want to like take this off and use a triple spell to jam another glowing lance on there or anything, because, like, we're already kind of pushing it on mana efficiency with this wand, as you can see, so I figured it wouldn't do to put any more stuff in there. I also have a lightning wand, again, a thing I'd be pretty nervous about if we didn't have explosion immunity, and it turns lava to blood. It's a lightning bolt that transmutes lava into blood, not because I think that that will be a useful thing to do, but because I wanted to be able to say the sentence, and now we have a wand that shoots a lightning bolt that transmutes lava to blood. I mean, anywhere where there's lava, I would rather it be blood. It's not like it's a bad thing. Just, I don't know how much use we'll get out of that. But also, you know, lightning bolt. I'm a little nervous using lightning bolt in this area because there are so many surfaces that it's not safe to stand on while shooting lightning. So we'll probably be using this thing a lot. But we have this. We have... Oh, you know what? When I built this, I didn't really... it does always cast... This is probably not going to be a good way to fire black holes, actually. Can the other wand? No, the other wand only has 80 mana max. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll have to fix this once we find some other wands, which we can do, thanks to Tinker with Wands Everywhere. And you can see, real poor health. Very, very bad. I don't have any orbs. I had no way of getting back... I didn't have a way of getting up the cliff during the period where I was in the first biome, so we're just kind of short on those tools. Oh, that's a little inconvenient. Now, we don't have to be terrified of the... Ooh, that works, though. We can use it to set traps. You know, I can fire ahead of time and do this thing. We don't have to be afraid of the explosion ourselves, of course. We could just use Death Cross in its the normal way, and if you fire Death Cross without a projectile, it just creates the point directly in front of you, and then does the cross explosion a second later. It's not very good, it seems to me, even if you are immune to the explosion, because just like you have to walk directly into an enemy, and then they have to stay put for a couple of seconds in order to fight them that way. This part of the reason I wanted to put the glowing lance on it was so that I could use it to fight things that need to die like faster than that. I do wish that the explosive area was a little, like, fatter. It's very, very narrow. It has to It really has to catch them directly in order to damage an enemy. Okay, well that guy will catch it at least. That worked pretty well. Yeah, it really... Man, if you're trying to use it as a trap, you have to do it in a very precise way. Ah, there we go. And you know, the actual spark bolt, like the delivery system part of the projectile, is just a normal spark bolt. It's blue in the icon, just to, I think, distinguish it more clearly from spark bolt with one trigger. But its damage output is very bad. Alright, I'm covered in enough blood to survive this. What do we got here? Okay, interesting. I don't really like eggs, if I'm honest. But this is definitely cool. I would rather have this wand than this wand, but we gotta do a little bit of work here first. So can I just throw the... Oh, what am I talking about? Hold on. The way we do this is we dispose of the fourth wand, which has no value at all. I do not care about the normal spark bolts within it. And we will just I mean, I'll just straight swap this for the moment. Reduce recharge time is actually really nice. I don't think we're going to fire this third wand at all, but I don't want to spend too much time messing with it. Reduce recharge time. Do we want to put that on? I mean, the problem here is going to be the cast delay. The problem here is the mana. So no, we don't have any use for it just yet. Whatever, we'll deal with it later. So there's a sniper over to our left, right? Oh, hey, it's one of those mega drills. Damn it. Guy's very effectively fleeing from me. Take this. Did that work? Actually, it might have. But wherever that dude is, he's really back there. So yeah, snipers just have unlimited range, huh? Usually they end up being quite constrained by the terrain, but not so here. So we have to ignite the fuel, right? I'm gonna shock this and not be standing on it when I do it. Is that working? Is it? I do think it's funny that it has to melt through the drill head, because the drill head is actually not functional. Ah, damn it. Okay, we got there eventually. Okay, apparently this beam is sometimes solid enough to stop projectiles, but not always. There you go, that's what you want. Yeah, it's a fun weapon. We probably could just be rolling with the lightning wand, but we were just doing that exact thing. So, you know, a little bit of variation in strategy is good from run to run. Also, we've never really gotten to use Death Cross as a weapon, and it seems pretty good. I think it's probably less good than just firing the lightning directly most of the time in terms of raw damage output, but it is a lot safer here in this place where everything's made of metal. Nice. Honestly, it's fun to do the trap thing with it too. It's very satisfying when it works. No, come back. Oh, that's not a... The blue light's tricky, because it could be one of those things, or it could be a turret enemy, right? One of those wheeled minigun guys. Aw. It's alright. We also have lances. Alright, I would love to get up here and take a look at... Ow. Guy really caught me off guard there. I think that trap would have worked if I had not accidentally killed him with the other thing. Thunder Charge! Well, I mean... Poison Trail seems like it's probably going to be more of a problem for me than a benefit, right? I might just discard this wand with all of its garbage in it. Hold on a second. Let's just move the recharge time off to something else. And I think that's what we're going to do, because I don't think this wand as a whole is really great. I think this is almost always going to be worse than not having this. And I don't like these eggs at all. So yeah, let's just do that replacement straight up. I do not imagine us using this thunder charge very much, but who knows. Maybe we'll get electricity immunity too. There's only so much escape available there, friend. So, okay, glowing lance does not cut through metal. We could black hole it, but I mean, obviously, in this case, it's not a big deal. That makes me really nervous. Let's just go ahead and... I'm very concerned that the fire would have ruptured it had I not done that. And I know, in theory, that's not how it should work, but you know. When it does go off, it'll feel like that's what happened. Yeah, Deathcross rules. I'm a huge fan. It also does sound like the name of a band that I would be into, so that's cool. I'm taking a lot of bad damage here. But it doesn't help that we just have way less total HP than I ought to at this point in the game. There we go. You know, I sort of want to get... Must you? I sort of want to get back up to the big lava pit that's just east of the mines with this lava to blood thing and just see if there's anything in there. I bet there is, right? With this game, the way things work, the way things work here, there almost has to be. I'm trying to put down Deathcross traps in places that I think he'll actually fly to. Come over here. You know you want to. There you go. Okay, it's just bouncing bursts. A good, what do you call it? Oh no, it's magic arrows, actually. That's definitely more interesting, although with the glowing lances, like, I don't even have all of my current glowing lances equipped. We probably don't actually need these. They are useful, but like... Nah, I'm good. Well, you know what we will do, though? I will pick this up, I will take that, and then I'll trade it back. I can never have enough double spell. I mean, we're not even using all of our triple spell right now, so the odds of us like making any actual value out of this double spell are quite low. But still, it feels like I should have it. It just feels like a thing that ought to exist in my life. Alright, I'm trying to find that that little cave that often has the spells in it, but I guess at this point we know it doesn't always occur. So maybe this is not... Maybe we're not going to get lucky this time. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh wow, he survived. I think he actually did take explosive damage, and he just survived. Yo, that's a lot of blood. What is this? Phlomoxium? I don't really want any Phlomoxium. The couple of times we've seen enemies get Phlomoxiumed, it did seem to disable them, like, more or less completely. So maybe it would be a good strategy to have some, like, maybe it works on bosses. This seems like a pretty effective way to dig through a lot of types of surfaces. I guess it's not doing much work on that. It's like a combination... That was fun. It's a combination of the fact that Deathcross is an explosion and Glowing Lance is really good at just chopping through soft things. That guy fired... Oh, okay. That guy fired, like, the frame that it was possible to do so. The field had not even been down visibly yet. For even, like, a split second. They could give these enemies, like, a tiny bit of delay, I think. The game would still be real hard. Okay. Alright, guy. Oh, I knocked him back too far. And he lives. Not for long. I'll find it. Excuse me, there it is. I told you I'd get there eventually. So yeah, it looks like the... I wonder if the hourglass room still exists when the spell cave is not present. I feel like it's pretty close to the wall, though, right? Like, I definitely saw through the wall into the hourglass room that one time where I accidentally dug through the side of it with the drill. So, yeah, I guess that probably the whole that whole assembly is a single piece, right? If it appears as one whole unit. There it is. There's my gold. And sometimes it just ain't around. And then you get this thing, which I don't know what to do with it yet. It looks like it's for smelting, right? Like you put something on the anvil and then you shoot a laser at it and it, like, I don't know, etches or... I'm sure it's something. I tried powering it, right? Yeah, it doesn't work like the drill. Alright, well... There's one more thing on the huge list of stuff in Noita that I do not yet understand. Now that we're at the bottom here, we can look around a little bit. Now that we have a quick way out, in case we should need it, and I can't imagine why. I don't like that there's freezing vapor just kind of coming off everything I'm doing over here. I'm surprised he fit through that. Ooh, yeah, bad idea. I guess I'm explosion immune. That feels crummy. The fact that they were able to combo me like that. A guy underneath me did not even aim, he just took the shot. I don't know if we've been getting any free crits because enemies are bloodied. There's certainly a lot of enemies here who bleed. Ow. That was a hell of a shot. But unfortunately, also, most of the enemies here fly, and blood does not. I don't want to blow anybody's mind with that pearl of deep wisdom there, but... Just try to get myself a little bit better vision. I don't want to be so surprised when I go over here. There we go. Just detonate all of these long before we get there. Okay, well, problem resolved. Damn it. There we go. It didn't strike me until I was already moving, but probably it was not the smartest play in the world to jump in the water while sparks were still raining down from that thing. Because, like, that could have gone poorly, right? Yeah, I love this Death Cross thing. This is real fun. This is a good entertaining thing that's real different from what we were doing last time, and like a huge part of what I love about Noita is just the incredible variety of play experience. Well, there used to be a thing over there. Who knows what it was? Damn it, I'm having a hell of a time. There we go. 42 health. At some point, we gotta just leave, right? Interesting. Did you see that? He actually... Like, the Death Cross is an object in the world, and it's displaceable. When that guy walked through it, he pushed it. Oh my god. I'm doing such a bad job here. This weapon is fun, but it takes too much brain power to use. I just don't have it. Huh. Why is that happening? That's concerning. We should probably just leave. I was hoping for, you know, wands or health. I'm having a lot of luck on that one, unfortunately. Fortunately, the gods are not... Oh, yes. Excellent. Rewarded. The gods are not currently mad at us. I did lose the run that I... Oops. Shoot. I did lose the run where I discovered that mana cuts through steel on account of the gods having been angered by a worm. And then that guy, the servant of the gods, chewing me up real bad. That's a lot of fire, actually. There we go. I actually really like that this wand is sort of like dual mode. We have two different strategies that can be applied with it. Guy's too smart. There we go. Like most video game enemies, completely helpless to navigate an environment that has explosives in it. That's a really, it's a rough trait to have as a video game enemy, because all video game environments are full of explosives, even if they are supposed to be mimicking a place that it would not make sense for that to be true in. Okay, so always casts light. It is 2 at a time with actually really nice regen. What is our current ones? Yeah, comparable regen and max mana to our current wand. Interesting. Like, the light itself is not particularly meaningful, but 2 spells per cast, like... I guess it just wouldn't be very workable, though, with our current spells, because we're burning mana too quickly. Okay, this is interesting. 510 mana charge speed. With only 113 mana max, though, there's not that many payloads of 6 spells you're actually going to be able to get out of that, right? Also, this is a thing that we thought was true before, but I do want to make a note here that I am reasonably sure at this point that spells that are delivered via trigger do not impact the cast delay of your wand, because there's no way that we're firing that slowly, right? Although, hold on, maybe... No, definitely not. I was gonna say... Maybe the casts at the end of that sequence were fast because they weren't actually delivering the Death Cross, but we saw there 2 casts that both did deliver 2 Death Crosses and definitely were not 1.2 seconds apart. So, yeah, delivering a spell via trigger seems to avoid the cast delay effects of the spell, and maybe also the recharge delay? I'm not sure. Well, we'd have to see with that. Okay, do we actually want any of these wands? This one I don't think is very impressive, and it doesn't have any cool spells in it. This one is, like, it's fun in theory, but I don't know what we would do with it that would make it make sense with that mana charge speed. Like, if there's not anything here that really makes sense for us to spend on, let's just not spend, right? We'll save things up for perk rerolls. Like, what are you gonna fire 6 of where 113 mana max is not like a huge problem. Personal gravity field is fun. I could see something like that working, I guess. I kind of want to fire the Thunder Charge in here. You know what I should have done? I should have fired it in the corner before picking up the health increase. I'm not going to buy any of this stuff. I'm pretty happy with our wands as they are. So Freeze Field, Make Peace with Your Gods. It feels like Make Peace with Your Gods. It's tough to find this. Like, things have to be just right for this to be any good for you, right? You have to randomly stumble across that on a run where you have annoyed the gods in some way. Ooh, I do like All-Seeing Eye. I think let's grab All-Seeing Eye. You know what I love is information. So, I'm thinking about getting back to the surface here. We don't have a constant digging tool, and we know that at normal movement speed, it takes, what, like 37-ish black holes? I mean, I guess we don't know that it's actually 37, because some of those were definitely 2 black holes cast directly on top of each other. But it's a lot. It's certainly more than 6 to get through into the cavern under the desert. So, I guess for the moment, we don't really have a way back up. I guess we just keep going down and see what comes of it. We're cool, right? You know what? Let me take Poison Trail off of this just in case I do decide to fire it. Also, if I do decide to fire it, I sure as hell don't. You know what? I don't need all this magic missile. I'm gonna divest myself of some normal magic missiles. I sure as hell don't want formation shoot in every direction on this thing that will probably kill us if we shoot it, you know? In fact, I'm going to discard another one of these. So, other stuff that we have that, like, theoretically could be interesting. I don't really know what to do with Linear Arc. I don't know how to use it in a way that makes it sensible. I also have this Bubbly Bounce. I've never seen this before, but I did get to see it in action a little bit because an enemy picked up the wand and shot it at me a little bit first. And, yeah, it adds 1 bounce to the projectile, and then causes it to just shoot the Bubble Spark spell kind of all the time. It says here, as it bounces. I think what I saw was that it was just kind of emitting Bubble Sparks the whole time it was in the air, but maybe it was just because it was firing in close proximity to walls or something. So, I don't know. We could maybe... If I don't think I'm getting value out of critical on bloody enemies... Here, maybe let's try this. So I don't want it to affect the Spark Bolt, of course. I want the Spark Bolt to pop where I fire it. But like if I do it like this, does it just make the Glowing Lance bounce? That seems okay. That's extra damage. And like I said, I don't think the blood thing's actually working anyway, so... Something untoward has occurred over here. There's just a wand sitting on the ground. Oh, money. Free money. Oh, I hate the enemies in this place. No, right? I mean, the rock spirits are fun. With 1,000 base mana, this is definitely like a Doomsday wand. Man, maybe we just drop the Terrifying Thundercharge wand, because, like, I'm not in a position where I think Thundercharge is safe to use, and frankly, I can't imagine wanting to shoot a projectile that we think could be dangerous to us in order to have it do 180 damage when we have, like, Lightning and Death Cross and stuff, right? Yeah, that spell, although you would not be able to fire it very many times in a row with its bad recharge, that could definitely be a Doomsday... What is this? Summons a seemingly innocuous deer, and also potentially makes creatures it hits turn into living thunderstorms. Okay. And actually, it's quite a good wand, too. I want the Deercoy wand. We're gonna, I'm gonna yank these... So you can see some of these have been used already. It's hard for me to imagine wanting to use hexagon. I'm certainly not going to want to use it twice. I'll throw this out too. We'll grab these, and then we'll take this thing and actually potentially use it. So a personal lightning caster might not be a thing that we want on this wand right now. I'm going to replace it with shoot lots of deers. And then let's try it, right? Ugh. Oh, Jesus. Fucking... Okay. I didn't realize it was going to explode immediately. Is it supposed to explode immediately? But, like, shouldn't it get close to something before... What if I shoot it in a place where it's, like, it can just sit on the ground? Okay, then it walks around. But if I go near it, it's gonna blow up. What a spell! I mean, that's neat. These guys really... I think they really, really want us, but they can't figure out how to get near us. Get them! Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Huh. Damn it. You gotta get away from the deer in a real hurry. Get him! Go get him. Dear friend? Dear friend, please go get them. Oh, he ran from them, which I'm not saying that's a crazy reaction to have to a spider of that size. I would also run. I might explode. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying it's not, like, helpful. Okay, but what if you stop chasing me? Ow. It's really, he's completely unaffected, it seems like, by... Well, okay, shooting him... Is shooting him in the head causing greater knockback? It looks like it actually is, right? Okay, you gotta stop living. So I can stun him and do very small amounts of damage like this. And I guess that's better than getting spears thrown at my face. Am I covered in oil? How did that even... Where... Is that his doing? Are his spears oily? It's just there's kind of a lot of fires around here, so I don't really want to be... Kind of a lot of the gold in this area is in fire. Ah... Okay. Problem solved. The answer to every problem that you could possibly have is put more projectiles into it. Have you considered making it explode? Interesting. So the lush ground is immune to both the destructive effects of the lance and of the death cross. That's actually quite difficult to dig through with our current weaponry. Trying really hard to... There's a very narrow angle available here. There it is. Just make sure that that's not there anymore by the time we arrive. Oh, cowardice. There it is. I do not like the fact that those projectiles and the bits that pop off of them are poison colored. Because I am very afraid of poison. Wow. Okay. Good work, Bubble Spark. I don't think we're in any kind of shape to fight the dragon. Although... no, never mind. I'm getting mixed up with the previous run. I was about to say, although, you know, we are melee immune. But that was true on the last run, not this one. I think he realized what was happening there. Did you see how he, like, stopped flying forward? I think he saw the danger, but it was too late for him to correct it. Ow. god. Distract him. Oh lord. Okay. Oh, it's bad news. Oh, it's bad news. Oh, wow. He did not get affected at all by that lightning bolt. Okay, let's take a second here. This wand has a lot of interesting stuff in it. Ball lightning. I've never seen ball lightning before. Pinpoint of light. Yo, there's a lot of fun stuff going on here. I gotta tell you, I want a lot of these things, and I also don't think that it is safe for us to stop and play with all of the buttons on our wands right now. So we kind of have two options here, I think. Either fight this guy off and then mess with this, or we could just abandon the deer wand. The decoy seems potentially useful. You gotta use it in a place where you get away from it quickly, and also it seems like it explodes if it's falling after like a second, so you have to use it pretty close to the ground. But it definitely seems like it could have value. Alright, I'm gonna try to survive here. Let's carve ourselves a path to escape from his line of sight. Make him come over to us. Oh, he might be immune to explosive damage. That might be what we're learning here. Okay. I think the notion of surviving is a very silly one it's turning out. You know, I can... I was about to say, I can use the lightning wand a lot more in here because there's not so much metal. But actually, that was just by a huge margin the most difficult jungle that we've ever faced. Running into like 3 or 4 of these guys in quick succession, even like, you know, counting the ones we evaded and stuff, seems like really, really, really bad luck. I don't remember those guys... Honestly, I don't remember those guys being in here at all, but I certainly don't remember them being that frequent. Alright, I'm just trying to get it to be less noisy here. Alright, I think that is going to be probably it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Did you know this video game is quite difficult? When you come back next time, tomorrow, hopefully we'll make a little bit more progress. I was actually really excited about turning that big lava lake into blood and then swimming around in it, because that's pretty metal. That's a pretty metal thing to do. Hopefully we'll get another opportunity at some point in the future. Anyway, come back next time, tomorrow, for a greater level of success than you just witnessed. I will see you then.